Hi dear traders! Amid growing recession risks, investors were surprised to see the release of a strong NFP report on Friday, showing that the American economy added more than 500,000 jobs in July. In light of the positive data, the stock market and the US dollar scored gains. US dollar index, a measure of the greenbacks valued relative to a basket of 6 major currencies, closed at 106.50, up by 0.69% on Friday. With data on the US labor market coming in strong, investors now expect the Federal Reserve to maintain its aggressive stance on monetary policy to curb raging inflation. The market will now focus on the US inflation report scheduled for Wednesday. It may finally show a slowdown in consumer price growth. If inflation starts to fall, the US regulator will no longer need to hike rates at such a fast pace. These expectations will be driving financial markets this trading week. Euro-American dollar closed down by 0.41% on Friday. The quotes are still hovering near parity as investors see the Eurozone sliding into recession shortly. Indeed, the latest business activity data shows that the European economy is in a terrible state. By deciding to reduce natural gas demand by 15% between August 1, 2022 and March 31, 2023, the European government is now preparing for serious disruption in gas supplies from Russia. Last week, the Bank of England raised the interest rate by 50 basis points for the first time since 1995. Moreover, the central bank sees inflation in the country accelerating to 13.3% by the end of the year. Such a pessimistic forecast triggered a sell-off of pound sterling in the market. Bitcoin is still moving in a narrow range, which contradicts the fact that the digital asset is in correlation with the Nasdaq index. Meanwhile, the US stock market closed higher on Friday. At the same time, the oil market incurred losses last week. BRENT fell as low as $95 a barrel amid growing global recession risks that is a threat to energy consumption. According to the official data, US crude oil stocks showed unexpected growth last week, while gasoline demand dropped below the pre-pandemic levels. In addition, Saudi Arabia raised crude prices for Asian buyers to record levels last week, and OPEC agreed on a modest rise in production in September and warned of scant spare capacity. With US-China tensions mounting after Speaker Nancy Pelosi's Taiwan visit, gold soared to $1,795 a troy ounce last week. Yet pressure on the precious metal increased after the release of a strong US job report, so gold gained just 0.65% at the close of the trading week. These are major tendencies of the last trading week. As usual, we keep following the situation and provide you with the latest news and analytics. Stay tuned.